So the new Netflix horror film, The Ritual, has gained a pretty good cult following to it, which really love this movie. Now, while it wasn't my favorite, there was one big aspect of the movie that I praised throughout my past video, and that was the monster. So for those of you who wanted to know more about the monster, its origins, here's your monster explained video for The Ritual.
Twig demon.
Twig demon, that's what you like to call it.
Now, of course, it's one of those movies where the monster is like half metaphorical, but also obviously we see it as well. So the monster can also be viewed as something within them, as the director says. Something that we follow throughout the character journey where we're dissecting the issues of
masculinity and male friendships as we age and how hard it is to keep them together. And then we got a pretty cool Old Norse Viking nightmare thing that's following them.
But of course, it's the physical monster that sticks with you as a viewer. It was designed by Keith Thompson, who's worked with my uncle Guillermo on several movies in the past, like Crimson Peak, and they decided to take a bit of Norse and British mythology to create this pagan figure, but at the same time not limiting themselves to strictly doing one thing.
So we didn't feel like we owed any specific Norse legend, we didn't have to pay our dues in that respect. Instead, we kind of found some areas in the Utah mythology wherein it sort of described the personality of those characters, and they're traditionally very tyrannical. There's a sense of vanity, and all that felt, it's fresh. It's a god that needs approval and worship.
For those who know the Marvel Loki, the real Norse Loki is just a bit different. It's a Norse god that was a little bit like Wilt Chamberlain and had dozens upon dozens of kids, some that were giant wolves, some that were serpents, some that were eight-legged steeds, and others that were just these shape-shifting Jotuns that sought to be worshipped.
A god? Ancient? One of the Jotun? A bastard offspring of the Loki.
While in the book, the guys come across black metalheads and an old lady with hooves who perform the titular ritual, the movie swaps them out for a cult village that worships this shape-shifting deity, who in the book actually has a name, which is Modor, or probably as you pronounce it in Norse, Muther.
We worship it. It keeps us here. Let us live beyond natural life. No more pain. No more death.
If we were to look at it as a god of grief, then the main offering that it's offering is this exchange of you worshiping it so then it could take away any sorrow that you may be feeling. Or, like the main character, you can pretend to bow, then slice it right in the head and escape. Director David Bruckner talked about how he wanted it to look different every time that we saw it, so it kind of plays with our minds and plays with the dudes who are freaking out's minds. And so this amalgamation of different body parts of animals and half human helps portray that, and in my opinion, creates one of the best creatures that we've seen in a long time.
My approach to this stuff is always the creature is more kind of a product of their psychology and what they're dealing with. It's kind of a reflection of their inner demons.
Thus, Bruckner brings up that idea of playing with the nightmare scenes. It's not something I'm always the biggest fan of, but he does do that thing where he leaves it up to the viewer's interpretation, for you to wonder, at what point is the main character waking up from a nightmare, or waking up to a nightmare? If the monsters we face when we're lost are external or internal, or plot twist, if we ourselves are that monster.
I actually punched it. That shit was red.
Thank you guys for checking out this video. I know a lot of people dug this movie, and if you're a big horror fan, I've been pushing a movie called Hereditary, which comes out as June, as being the best horror movie that you're going to see all year, so be stoked for that one. If there's anything else that you want me to explain, break down, let me know down below in the comment section. I got a couple of other ones that are coming up this upcoming week, but don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and you too can also be one of Loki's bajillion kids.